Hey guys, what's going on? Long day. It's probably 10:45 at night, and I got to go back at like 4 in the morning. So I'm gonna do a couple of short ones for y'all guys, cause I need to shower and shave and eat. But I wanted to light the fire for y'all, cause that's usually the first thing I do when I get home. And I wanted to go over a little bit about Sebastian Rogers. Gatorade, good for you. I drink a big glass of Gatorade every night and water all day pretty much. So that's a good thing. Try to stay somewhat healthy, right? Much as I walk and move and go, right? But we're planning to search in the Memphis area for. I usually don't talk about it, but it's gonna be, I think, Friday, because I'd reached out to Silver's on the scene to let him know that I would be there and see if he wanted me to help him or whatever. Not right. I don't mind. I mean, I'm here to whatever, if you need help, you need help. I got a couple of really good areas that I think if we, work as a groups, I think we can get these done and get them knocked out and get them checked off, right? And just keep rolling. Um, I have a few target areas that I really want to target, and I feel like the only way I can really truly do that is if I have maybe a little extra help. I don't know who's in that area, if anybody that would want to help, right? I'm gonna try to build y'all a big fire tonight, and if so, just reach out by email, right? I know Silver's, he'll email me. He usually does. I'll wait for his email, and then I'll keep y'all posted on that. He's a really good guy. He's in it with his heart, right? Like we are. And Sebastian Rogers touched a lot of people's hearts, and kind of what I wanted to touch base a little bit on, and just kind of go over a few things. But there's, no, I mean, I'm surprised nothing. I figured something was going to happen this week, and I know this week just started, so it's usually good, right? That it's Valentine's is coming up, so maybe we'll have some news by then. That'd be. They usually wait till the holidays, right? At least in Leilani they did. And then this new trial that's going on with the little one that was found in the playhouse, which is truly heartbreaking. I think Megan is the one on trial, the mother. I don't know a lot about this case. I haven't really studied this one very much. But it is truly heartbreaking. I know that. That beautiful little angel did not deserve that. And I hope that mother pays the full price, the ultimate price, right? There's so many people that would have taken that child. It's truly, truly heartbreaking. My condolences to the family. It's heartbreaking. I just want to take a second to do that, guys. I'm sorry. And we got 2 searches planned, and I wasn't really going to talk about the second one, but I might as well let y'all know. I think I need to start letting y'all know where we're going. That way y'all will know, and if there's anybody in those areas that wants to help, they can reach out by email and help us. I know we got a lot of the bandanas. They're up there. We got a lot of stuff in, so we're going to start making some little goodie bags and stuff. And then we're going to take like the top 5 commenters, right, in that little box that we get, and we're going to start showing appreciation. I think that's something that we need to do. It took me a little longer because some stuff had gone on at about 2 months in, and I had to change some things over, and I changed like some of my logos for the merchandise. And so it set me back about a month and a week. I wanted to have them out by like December, Thanksgiving, or like the 1st of December, but it just didn't work because I had so much stuff that I had already had being made, and then I had to change it, right? So now that some of the stuff's coming in, it's going to be cool because I can carry stuff with us. We can pass it out. We can give things away, especially if people want to help us search whatever. That'd be really cool. We'll give y'all a little goodie bag. You have like a little bear whistle and some things like that in it. Some little things of bear spray. We're just making little cool things to put in it. And the catalog is going to be like a digital catalog where it'll be on the community page. Like I was saying, we're working on that now, trying to put everything together so we can put everything on there at once. So it's like I'd rather get it all done at one time, so then I know I'm done with all that, right? That's the best thing. And it's just hard when I'm on days on, the 7 days on. It's so hard because sometimes, like now, I work until way late, right? I think I'm gonna get off at 7 and I don't, so it's tough. But 12-hour days turned into 16 and 18-hour days most of the time, almost every day. But that's okay. It's part of the job. That's what keeps this channel going, is me working hard, right? Allows us to go search and go do these things that are not free, right? And it's just, in this case, just let me say first, I keep forgetting, but I'm just tired right now. But allegedly, in my opinion, these are my theories, my speculation only, not to reflect anything, not even the channel. This is just my free speech and my alleged opinion and my alleged theories of what I think happened. And that's all it is. Y'all's comments, y'all's and y'all's alone. We do our research together because we are a little bitty, big-hearted family, right? We are. We're under 1,500 in 3 months. I think that's a wonderful goal. I think my goal was 1,000 in 3 months, and a little bit over that's good. That's great. That means it's doing a little better than I thought it would do. So that's a good thing. And I had done this for so long, right, before the channel, right? 8 years and like 7 months before I even started the channel. So still trying to get used to this part of it, but I'll get there eventually. And figuring out how to load things, I think I was messing up because I would load a video and then I would go in and add the thumbnail. And if you add something to it while it's trying to process, it makes it take longer. So now I know I need to have everything ready or do it right after it posts, and I can go ahead and throw the thumbnail on it and then go ahead and post it to y'all guys. Because when I load them, they're loaded on private. That's how they do it, so they can monetize check it. And then they'll send me a thing saying, hey, this one's been checked out. It's ready to go. And then what I'll do is I'll add the thumbnail at that time before I post it. Y'all might see, if y'all are noticing the shorts, you can't do thumbnails on short videos. It doesn't allow you to make a thumbnail for a short. Or else I would have shorts on them because it's too hard. And I know now at night it's going to be not very good to do shorts. So I'll work on that. But I know I need to get 5 or 6 shorts, I think, a month out. So I'm learning all this stuff that's new with the partnership. So that's why you're seeing them now when you haven't seen them in a long time. Is because when you first start, that's kind of what they expect you to do. And then once you get 400 or 500 people, then you can kind of do it. It's weird how it works. I don't want to explain it all and take time away from Sebastian. But anyway, I think, that something, a big bombshell is fixing to come down. And I think a lot of people in the comments are right. Only one thing I don't think Chris is going to go on the run because I don't think they're going to give him a chance to. If they're going to take them down, they're going to make sure they do it both at one time. I don't see them doing it separately because, ever since poor Sebastian went missing, when Chris wasn't at home for months, now all of a sudden they're together every single day. Isn't that weird to y'all? It's a little weird, isn't it? So I guess no more 3-hour phone calls, right? Oh, Lord. They could have picked something better than that, in my opinion, right? I remember trigger warning times 100 million, but you know what? We'll just double protect our ass tonight. We'll say 200 million. Trigger warning. Ooh, look at that fire, guys. It's so pretty. But yeah, the one I like about the American flag ones is if you put them under a dark light, which I don't have a dark light now. Oh, y'all see my star? I got that from someone that we had done a little search for a while back. I got it today. And it's like a thing that I guess it's like an older timey kind of star that I guess came out a long time ago. You could put on your tree or whatever, or put on your house or whatever. So I wanted to put it up because, someone gave it to me. But so that's why it's flashing back there. And I got the other one, the sign, the Rich and Ruby sign. It's going to be like, it's a big round circle, like, like kind of like those beer signs, like the clock, the old school ones, the round ones. Like it's like gonna be like that, right? I had it out here the other day. I just haven't hooked it up yet, but it just says Rich and Ruby, and it has paw prints all over it. I just need to hook it up back there, so I'll have that. I got one made for here, and then a big one made for the studio. So I got all that done, and That small one came in, but not the big one yet. But the studio's doing really good. They're speeding up. I got a couple extra people now working on it, trying to get it done quickly. So then we can link that our main studio to the little command center, right, and the little trailer, and then that way, like, if I ever have the team wants to go do this while I'm working, we can communicate back and forth, and I can watch the drones and I can do all that stuff, right? So that's kind of what we've been working on, is trying to be able to do, like, have a mobile command center and then have like the command center in the barn. That's where I'm putting it, right? And so it's going to be, I had a room done in the barn, and I'm going to be like, have a studio office break room little thing in there, to where it'd be kind of cool, I think, once it's done. Y'all will see it once it's done. It's going to have a bunch of crime stuff all over the walls and different things like that. All of, like, the certifications for Ruby and the other dogs, and the puppy coming. I'm going to, won't have nothing for her because she's got to go through the training first, and then she's got to go to that class for 6 weeks. That's the hardest part about it. You got to leave them for 6 weeks, but it's okay. It's all worth it in the end. And if you do it while they're young, it's not as hard. Um, it's more of the swimming and the things like that they learn in that class that I use. It's way down in a little town of like 400 people, and this old man's been doing it for years, and he's so good. That's why I like him. But he's in the middle of nowhere, down by a little bay town by Magnolia Beach, and he's a wonderful guy, Henry. He's a real cool dude, and he has a bunch of kennels. He boards a lot of dogs, and he trains a lot of dogs, so he's a really good guy. Enough about that. But anyway, I wanted to fill you in on those few things. But when it comes down to, make sure I say this right, how this thing went down, which I've really, the reason I didn't really do much in the last 20 hours, because I was really working on putting some last pieces of the puzzles together on this case, with a few of the older interviews, and then a few of the extra Peter Hyatts that I went back and watched again. About, he did one on the stepdad, he did one on Katie, remember, and then he did one on both of them in the very beginning. So I went back and watched the stepdad one again, just to get a little more intake on his knowledge. He's such a wonderful man. Shout out to you, man. You do a wonderful job. um, Everybody loves Peter Hyatt. I think he's good. Kind of like Pat Brown. I love that lady too. She's so good. She has a little more jokeness in hers, which is cool. But yeah, she's to the point too, though. But that's kind of some of the things that I was trying to put together, and I'm trying to put together the what I think, and how I feel that it could have done, right. How could this have gone down, right? That's my thought this whole time, right. I'm so sorry, guys, too. I need to shave so bad. I'm just wore out and I haven't had time to do it. I barely make it to brush my teeth and eat and shower. That's about it. I'm so tired. Uh, but if you really go back to the beginning of this, and now that I'm looking at it more from the beginning stages of this, like that 8 day to talk thing, nobody does that. The Wells didn't even do that. I don't think anyone out here has done that, other than maybe Leilani. I think maybe that's the only one. Um, if that tells you anything. But it's just the short frame of window. Let's just say this was an accident, right? Okay. But we're just going to go with an accident theory, not a plan theory, right? Because we need to look at both sides of this. That's how I feel about it right now. We need to look at both sides, because I'm grabbing some different information on a few interviews. And I'm starting to actually, I always thought the motive was the court and all these things, and they planned all this, right? And they did all this. And now I'm wondering if this was just really just an accident, and they covered up the accident. And that could be the reason for the 8 days of silence, right? They just didn't know what to say. And that's kind of would point more to an accident. Like, because their brain hasn't processed, right? If they planned all this, they would have had everything laid out, right? Like, maybe they were planning something, and that's kind of why he was like, here we go. Had to call, make a report. But I wait 33 minutes to make a report. We wait 33 minutes to call when we haven't been able to find him since 6 a.m. That never made sense anyway. But let's just say it was an accident. Let's just say she was on the phone with Chris, right? And we know that afternoon it got down into the 30s, right? I think that's what has been confirmed. And if that's the case, that's below freezing, right? If it's 30 degrees or 31, that's below freezing. So somebody barefoot put out the house if you're angry at someone wouldn't make it very long with no shoes. Really wouldn't if you stop and think about it. You go stand outside when it's 31 degrees and see how long it takes for your body to start shivering and your feet to turn purple, right? I was thinking about this because I've been through those water survival courses, and that man left us in there maybe a little bit too long. It's supposed to have been like 19 minutes, and he left us 25 just to kind of push the envelope to make us the best class, right? But when we all got out, all of our feet were purple, and the water was 59 degrees. Can you imagine 31 degrees and barefooted? Sweatshirt, sweatpants, no matter what, that don't matter. Your feet are what matter, right? They're going to take in all the cold, which is going to basically cool your blood off so low that your body's going to basically go to hypothermia within a few hours, right? So let's just say she got on the phone at 9:46 p.m. And he wouldn't be quiet enough, so Chris said, hey, put him outside, no shoes on, he ain't taking his shoes, tell him to go to his dad's, whatever, right? Put him outside angry. Maybe they've done this before. I don't know. I'm starting to think so. Now that evidently he had been missing before, that's coming out now. We have to try to put these things together. Maybe she was putting this kid out of that house as a punishment. And he wasn't running away, but maybe she was saying he ran away. Right? Maybe she was saying that. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that. But I'm also thinking about that this boy got hypothermia, right? If that was the case, I don't know how it would have worked if he had had his medicines right before he went to, supposedly going to go to bed. Before all this happened, maybe he had taken his medicine. He was very tired because he looked sleepy at the roadhouse, almost like a zombie sleepy. And he was so hungry, but I think he's so hungry maybe the medication, right? And because some of that medication can make you hungry. And so maybe this is why he was always hungry. And, if it started kicking in, and say he did leave at first and walk out the front door, walk around and go around to the back, he'd have been seen on that camera, right? So it would have looked like that would have been the person they saw. Because it never really gave us a definite time of when that person was saw. They said roughly around midnight, I think somebody did, but what if it was earlier? Or what if, say, at 11:30, when she hung up with Chris, maybe she put him out. That would have been 12. That would have been go with the time they said they saw a figure dressed in black clad walking, but it was real grainy. But we know Secret Service got it clear. We know that. They're that good. And you got to remember, we can land on the moon, we can do anything, right? So I'm wondering now, maybe it was an accident that went too far. And then she went out to check him, right? And oh no, right? Maybe right before she hung up with Chris or something, she stepped out and it was like, oh my God, right? I don't know why he walked out that door. He got hypothermia and that's it. Look at him. Maybe, right? Anything's possible. I'm just trying to throw out another theory that I thought could have happened. Maybe it was some kind of argument. She put him out and then, or maybe say she just brought him back in and it was part of their plan and they executed it. Or it was an accident and he had to hang up with her right then and there and drive down and get him. That's possible too. Because I still think that wherever Sebastian went or wherever he was taken to, I believe that it was done by the stepdad. I really believe that now. I think I've looked at that photo enough to pretty much, in my opinion, think that it's a truck with like a brush cart or something on the front of it. And so, or somebody was standing in front of it. Because we know he supposedly took 2 people back with him when he went, which I didn't know that before, but somebody brought that up the other day, and I've seen where more than probably 20 people have said the same thing. that he did have people with him. Why? Why does he need people with him? And who were these people? Was it Terry and Kathy? Well, if that's the case, then yeah, they used the 17 hours to put this kid up somewhere. Either with someone they know, or they did something very bad like foul play. Trigger warning, sorry, I had to say it. Yeah, I feel that at least 4 arrests, maybe 5 are coming in this case. And I'm starting to wonder now if the green hoodie possibly did have something to do with it, because they debunked it very quick when they haven't done anything else. I mean, nothing else. Like that they've told us, right? I mean, they keep everything close. That's what they should do. But I'm just saying, they've done nothing to show us any kind of, they're cleared. They haven't done any of that, but they quickly jumped out on the green hoodie. Bam, already done that. It's water under the bridge. Like, is that their new plan? Because they know that someone's going to get twisted and crooked, and they were worried that somebody was really going to figure something out while we were digging on the green hoodie, and everybody's digging, which somebody eventually going to find the little click, right? And they just had to come out and shut everybody up, right? Like, kind of like the flashlight video, shut them up. Like, maybe that was their plan of this. Maybe that did have something to do with it. Because I always thought, like, maybe something did happen at that roadhouse. And that was Kathy or Katie taking the trash out. And that's why they couldn't verify. She could have easily put a ball cap on, hair in a ponytail up high, put a ball cap on, dressed all in black, and go out there and take the trash out. And it's so dark with that light bulb they took out. They clearly took the light bulb out. I seen the drone footage. Shout out to Dolly Vision. Love you, brother, for showing that footage. He caught that. He caught that right away. He was dead on it. That light is missing. And that makes a difference when you're taking that trash out, doesn't it? It's on that corner right there. So when he gets to that edge of that corner, there's no light. And that's where that camera shines at, right? Towards their front door more. So it only catches a little bit of the dark side where the light would have been out. So she could easily walk that can out there and walk back in and nobody would have known it. Or she could have skipped out there and skipped back in like she was Sebastian. She knows everything the kid does, right? She knows all his moves, how he dances, how he runs. They picked on him a lot, made fun of him a lot for it, which I think is truly heartbreaking. Sebastian Rogers don't deserve that. He don't deserve whatever they did. Because whatever happened to this young man, it happened on her watch. So I'm sorry. If anything, 30 years to life for damn neglect. How about them apples? And then get the other one for abuse and lying to the judge. CPS can get him no matter what. They don't need Sebastian to get him. They can get him. Especially if they have photos of bruises or something on this young man that if they had came to that school to check him, they would have took pictures if he had bruises. He's 15. They would have. And then they might have all that. We don't know. And they may be the ones doing all the investigation and we're dogging them. But I did learn that CPS does do behind the scenes secret investigations. So I'm wondering if they've already talked to all the teachers. Probably. I bet they've talked to everybody. And maybe this is what the piece of the puzzle is coming. Maybe it's going to be them that is going to do something. I don't know. But I always wondered too about the way they did Nina, and then Nina won that case. Is there anything out there that they can be charged for harassment, or like she could have got them for something, I would think. I'm wondering if this is just one big bubble fixing to blow up. I hope it is. And I pray, which I don't believe it'll happen, but I'm going to pray very hard for it, that if they are arrested, that they at least tell where he is. Because if they don't tell us where he is, can you imagine? This young man could be anywhere. And that's tough. And I have been researching maps on those Mississippi rivers, which is totally different than them other rivers. Man, it's rough over there. And I mean, we're going to do it. We ain't got no choice. We got to. We got to put the paws on the ground and get it. But I am going to take one of the extra dogs this time. Hey, y'all might see a little different one in the photo. Just depends on if I run them together or don't. But I'm taking one of the other dogs. I have to. We got to cover more ground this time at once. And the only way to do that is to do it this way. We're going to go back to the old school way. I'm going to put the tracking collars on, both tracking collars on, and one I can voice command with. And I think I'm just going to send them into some of these areas and just watch them on the drone and then communicate through the earpieces, and just see if I can get a lot more ground covered, because she's way better than me. And if we can keep the drone above them, right? Then if they stop for anything, we can mark that right there on the drone, and then I can walk in there to that spot. And I'm going to try that on about a 3 acre little area. It's like almost 3 acres, 2.98, I think. We're going to try that on that smaller area because it's like in the middle of nowhere. So we don't have to worry about anybody being around, and trying to, do something to dogs. We can run that area like Ruby's used to running. And they can cover it a lot faster if I'm not with her on a leash, right? Trying to film a video for y'all without shaking around too much. That's hard to do when you're searching. It really is. And I've tried the GoPros. They get shaky and fuzzy too. They get smacked by tree limbs. It's harder than people think. It's way harder than you think to get to film in there. Like, y'all know some of the stuff I go in is thick, thick stuff. So it's very hard to film a good video while trying to tiptoe around, watch for snakes, everything you got to watch for, potholes, broken glass, needles, anything on. You never know what you're going to find on the ground. Tennessee has a lot of crazy crap on the ground. Excuse my language. They do, man. It's bad. But I think we just have to stay focused, right, on the one thing that matters, and that's finding this young man. That's what matters, and that's our goal. That's why we haven't been really doing a little crazy. I mean, kind of going a little crazy like we were before, and I'm trying to focus on Sebastian and not all the other stuff. Although I know it's hard to do, because in understanding where he might be, we need to understand them, right? And that's something that makes it hard, because they didn't communicate in the first 8 days, right? So we don't have any of her first responses. We don't know what she was doing that first day, right? We didn't see him. Most people would have been on camera that day. They'd have been like, give me the damn lie detector test. Hurry up so I can get my kid's name everywhere. Right? Like, go ahead and eliminate me. Because they know anytime a child goes missing, whoever's with that child is going to take a test. They're going to ask you right off the bat. That's pretty much how they do it. And that way they can eliminate you quick. So think about what I just said. Because I'm going to pause for a second, lean back. I'm going to warm up real quick. In Tennessee, man, it just dropped 31 degrees, man. I should have stayed one night. I had beautiful weather the other day. It's going to be 31 now. But that's okay. I'll still make it. I got plenty of warm clothes. Think about what I just said. Let that sink in a second. You ready? Why did I say it that way, right? That's probably what y'all are wondering. What is he trying to do? What is he trying to say? What trick is he trying to pull, right? I'm not pulling a trick. I'm not pulling anything. I'm saying 9 times out of 10, when a child goes missing, especially at that age, with autism, with CPS reports out there, that mother, they pretty much probably gave her a test the first or second day. That's probably how serious it was, right? That's usually what they try to do, to eliminate you. Okay, eliminate me. Give me that test and eliminate me so we can find my child. That's what everybody does. Every parent that's true about their missing child and has a heart, that's the first thing they're going to do without having to be asked. They're just going to say, go ahead, test me, do whatever you got to do. Lock me in a cage, I don't care, but let me get my child's name out here. And I'd be, oh my God, I'd be beside myself. But that's my point I'm trying to make, is usually that's what clears the parents right away, is that test. That's what eliminates them from the case. That didn't happen in this case. We didn't say, they never said one word about her being clear. That's why I feel she didn't pass that test. I mean, it's been rumored that she failed at least 3 questions, 3 important questions, and she knows if she did. And we know they're going to tell her she passed. I mean, of course, who wouldn't? You want them to go on with their normal life so you can watch them and spy and try to figure out the truth. That's what they do. And that's wonderful about it. That's what they do. And it makes it great, right? It does. Y'all want more fire? Here. You got some good pecan wood, because I burn only pecan wood. like, because it burns really, I don't know, it smells good and it burns pretty to me. Um, I should burn mesquite. I got plenty of it, and it burns a lot longer. But it's I don't know. It's not as pretty a flame when you burn mesquite for some reason. If the lighter the wood, the lighter the flame, and something my grandpa always said: the lighter the wood, the lighter the flame. So if you burn like pecan, it gives it that real light yellow look to me. That, or if you do oak, it's always a little more orange, right? And because pecan wood is really, I don't know, and it's good, really good to barbecue with. We did them burgers and chicken things last night for the Super Bowl because I had some friends over. Well, not friends, and family over, but I had to barbecue a whole bunch of stuff for them. And it was fun. I used a bunch of pecan wood at a barbecue, and everybody was like, man, that tastes so good. I was like, yeah, pecan makes a difference. But anyway, enough about me. Think about that. And then he didn't take one. But I can almost pretty much say, I bet he said, because the family has a lawyer. They use that lawyer for everything. They're like best friends, right? Don't tell me that as smart as he is about this case, that he didn't call that lawyer right away and say, hey, do I take the lie detector test or do I not? And I guarantee you, lie detector, that lawyer said, hey, you're out of town. Tell him, nope, I'm out of town. I'm working. I don't need one. And I guarantee that's what happened because that's what he pulled later on. So that's why I know that most likely he did that. Because what did he do? He used Katie's test as his test. Why did he do that? Because they told her she passed. That's why he did it. So he thought, okay, I'll just say we took our tests already and we passed. And we knew better, right? We knew better. We knew by his loud mouth there's no way he took a test. And I know I got in trouble for that, right? By some people. Oh, you're wrong. He took 2 tests. No, he asked Nancy Grace if he took a test. Nancy Grace ain't gonna lie. He wouldn't take her test. And I don't believe he took one at all. I really don't. Sorry, I just don't feel that he did. I hate to say it. As much as he lied about it, I don't think he took it. And the people that got mad at me, explain why he lied about it. And then why he finally told the truth on Nancy Grace. He told the truth on Nancy Grace because he knew law enforcement would be watching. He's not worried about these little channels he went on that he controlled the narrative. He wasn't worried about the cops watching those, but believe me, they get wind of it. Everybody sends an email saying, hey, he's on this one, hey, he's on that one. I know. I've already heard all that. Shout out to everyone that sent those in, too. That sometimes is the biggest break that cops can get. Social media. But he knew on Nancy Grace that there would be at least one of those police officers watching Nancy Grace. So he had to be honest. No choice about the test. I'm not saying he wasn't honest about everything else. I'm saying about just the test part. That's why he's buckled up and he kind of bowed up, named the place and time, and I'll be there. Liar, I'm a liar. I wish I could sing. All I can do is talk. Can't sing. Never really tried. I'm not one to really sing to music though, so I don't really listen to music. I don't really watch much TV. I don't really have time. But I don't even get to watch YouTube hardly anymore. I mean, I catch Dolly, man. I love watching Dolly. I catch him every now and then, but I mean, it's hard to do this. It's hard to do this YouTube stuff. It really is. It's tough. But now, if I just sat every night like this, it wouldn't be hard at all. But when you're working full time and you're searching full time and you're traveling here for 4 hours or 6 hours and traveling here for 4 or 6 hours, man, believe me, it wears you down. And that's okay. That's why I'm ready for the summer, because I'm going to take that 5 weeks. I might end up taking 6 weeks and then do the summer wells. And if we know something about Sebastian, then I won't have to do Sebastian. I'm going to do Layla Santinello's and some of those other ones. There's like 5 poor little girls that need to be found there. And I think Layla Santinello's mom feels that she's there, right there somewhere. I don't know if that's the case, but I believe she thinks she's there. And if she is, I know all Grandma's got to do is email me and send me the coordinates, and I'll go check it out, and I'll film it and send it to them before I even post it. I don't have no problem doing that. Let them see what it looked like in that area first, right? And sometimes you got to search twice in the same area because you can miss things. But that's why I have Ruby, because Ruby usually don't miss nothing. That's what I like. Like half the stuff I walk by, she picks it up. So that's what's cool, because she jerks me and pulls me back. She won't let me go. Y'all know how she is, man. She's stubborn. She will stop and lay down on it and like not even move, which is good because that's how I trained her to do. But it's pretty cool that way. That's what kind of helps, is because she's so low to the ground, right? She can smell everything and see everything. And I'm over here trying to look more at the camera to make sure I got it right and it's not shaking everywhere. That's why I'm not able to see as much on the ground. So, searching and filming is very hard unless you have a dog. I think the dog does make it easier because she won't really miss anything usually. I mean, she might have missed stuff before, but not really. She don't miss much. Um, but that's something that was stuck in my head, and nobody's really talked about that. But I wanted to bring that up because I've been looking at this case in a lot of different ways. I'm sure y'all can tell. I just felt like, that test in the beginning, that I'm sure they said, hey, you want to go ahead and take a lie detector test so we can eliminate you or whatever. And then I'm sure that's probably how they said it. And then she took it. And then I don't think she did so well, because we know how nervous she was on tape, and how excited she seems to get about talking about going back to school, right? Over here, over there. She got all excited like it was a game. And then she almost slipped up anyway. But that's why I don't think she would have done well on the lie detector test. I really don't. Because Chris couldn't have been in there with her. And that's the thing. She had to do it on her own. And that's why I don't feel that she passed it. I think they told her she passed, but I don't think she passed. And then, of course, it probably set in, and she was probably just thinking in her head, oh, my God. She was probably thinking every day they were going to come and say she lied on a lie detector test. I bet she thought that every day. But because it takes a long time to get the results back. Look how long it took Seth. It takes a while. It's not quick, It's not like that, like people think, Usually it takes a good little while to get them back. I mean, of course, they can probably tell them right there, but they want to get it checked and looked at, and I get it, right, to make sure, but I just don't feel like she passed. I feel like she failed. Or she failed at least the important questions. Because some of the questions they asked her, I'm sure, had to do with the past, too. And, one thing that really bothers me is, okay, I hate to talk about this because it's really heartbreaking, but it's hard for me to talk about. But whenever that thing happened in California, right, with little Sebastian, with somebody older than him, you know what I'm saying? That stuff, I don't even want to discuss the names. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. And then she talks about how she got him all this help and everything, but she only got him help in Tennessee. Like maybe a year before he went missing. So 8 years old to 13 years old is 5 years. 8 years old to 15 years old is what? You know what I'm saying? Like how many years apart, right? I mean, you waited 4 or 5 plus years to take this kid to get counseling. I mean, is that really the truth? It's what's going around. Is that really the truth? That's what I'm wondering. If he had just recently started getting help, like a year prior to him going missing, she sure didn't worry about him. And it's just hard, guys, because you can't always figure out, right, everything. And I know I shouldn't be adding wood. I already been on here almost 40 minutes, but I'm having fun talking about it. It's just this part's hard, but I really thought about that a lot, long and hard, and I went over some of my notes, and I'm like, okay, if he really didn't start seeing a counselor till like 2023 or the end of 2022, that's not very long, considering. So let's say 2023. 16, 15, 14. He'd have been like 14, 13, almost 14, whatever. So, because he's December baby. It wouldn't have been very long he was getting help to me. And that could be wrong. Don't quote me. I'm just saying it's going around right now. Some of my sources were telling me about it as well yesterday. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah. Supposedly somebody got wind of his doctors and said that he's only been seeing the doctor for like a year for that. Well, that's not cool at all. This happened when the boy was 8. You get him help right away. I mean, it never should have happened anyway. You should have never put that other person in the vicinity of him if you knew that, right? But it shows you that neglect. They don't care. All these little things add up to neglect. Neglect at 8. How much more neglect was there between 8 and 15? Because it seemed like the older he got, the worse it got. So how many years had this poor child been mistreated by Christopher Proudfoot, or Stinky Stepdad, or whatever you want to, Stinky Foot, or whatever you want to call him, Step Bear, whatever. You know, how long had he been mistreating Sebastian? For this poor kid to always have a smile on his face, and yet to be so many complaints to CPS. This poor, I just feel so, he was just such a happy child. Like every picture you look at, he just looks so happy, but yet behind closed doors, he's being treated so bad. And I don't know, it's hard to talk about. I might have to get some Kleenex, but you know, it really, it breaks my heart to think about it. It really does. I'm sorry, I don't mean to break down, but it breaks my heart to think about it. That this, when you're out there searching for this young man, I don't think people realize what it does to your heart when you're doing that. I don't think the ones that do search, they know what I'm talking about. It's that feeling of, my God, this child could be out here, you know, and it's so hard to think, because the first thing you think in your head is you know, you're not looking for a child that's going to be hiding in a cave, right? And that's the hardest part of it all. It would be easier to sit right here in this chair, a lot easier, to just light a fire and talk to y'all all, and I could do that easy. That'd be cake easy, but that's not me. I got to be out there. Y'all know that. I can't sit still. That's my problem. But I had to change the subject for a second because I was getting a little too. But you know, it's one of these things that unless you do it, you don't really know how it makes you feel, right? Like what it does to your body and your heart when you're out there. And then Ruby is just, you know, crawling through everything. Like the stuff I put that dog through, the briar bushes and the stickers and the water and the cold water. I mean, that water she got in the other day, y'all guys, I don't think y'all realize that water was probably like 40 degrees. And if she has a scent, she's going to go. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's 40-degree water. That's another reason why I cut that clip so short after she got in the water, because I got the towels out of my backpack and it dried her off. And then I have a little, you know, those hand warmers you put in your pockets and stuff, right? I put those. I put socks on her feet and put those warmers in there to warm her feet up a little bit. I give her like a 10-minute little break to warm her back up because that water was freaking cold. And you know, it's just little things like this that we go through to look for these missing individuals, right? We've been through worse. I tell you, Suzanne Simpson, those thick thorn bushes, oh my God, over there by Bandera, Texas, that's cactus, thorns. I mean, it's bad. And you have to be so careful, right? And that was rough. Tennessee's rough, but only in certain areas. Some areas, like over by Hendersonville, it's not bad. I mean, there's some briars there, here and there, but most of them are already dead, right? So you just got to be careful because they're little bitty thorns. But it's not like some of these other areas over by Memphis stuff. Some of that area is tough, guys. Really tough. But I'm just wondering. There's so much going on in this case that I'm wondering when the arrests are coming. I mean, I think they're coming really, really quick, and I think everybody's feeling it. I really do. I think by the 12th of this month or the 14th or maybe the 26th, they're going to do that. So I I just wanted to kind of go over some of these things and why we do them, right? We do them because we care. We do them because our heart pushes us that way, because God sends us to do this, right? That's how I feel. And, like if you feel, okay, I need to go, so I need to take off tomorrow and go look for this young man because I got a tip, right? I need to do this, right? That's in my head. So I always do that, right? And that's why I went the other day. It's just because I had got something from someone, and they told me about that area, and so I wanted to go check it out. And sometimes you need to go quick, right? If it just before, if weather's going to set in or something's going to happen or it's going to start snowing, you need to go check it quickly, right, before it gets snow on the ground, because then it's harder. And we were going to go tomorrow, but now it's supposed to be 95% rain and 30 something degrees. So it's not a good day. So I'm going to move it. I like to take off a day or two every now and then when I have some area I need to really hit and go quickly, because I want to go before anybody else gets in that area. And so that's kind of why I like to go on a whim like that sometimes and then just come back and be here at night to do this, right? That's what's cool about it. It's like I wasn't even gone, right? That's the fun part. But that's the fun part of it all. I don't know why I'm still adding wood. I need to go to bed. But anyway, guys, almost an hour. Oh my goodness. Well, that's cool though. Y'all like that, I hope. Plenty of fire for an hour, right? Put you to sleep, I bet. Um, Put me to bed right now if I would lay back in this chair. But justice for this young man is so important. It's so important for all of them. Summer Wells, Suzanne Simpson, Nikki McCann. It's just not enough time in the day to talk about them all. I wish there was, right? I'm trying to do some nights. If I'm not beat, I'll do 4 or 5 videos in a night for y'all guys, just to get, because I feel like I need to discuss this one and this one and this one. I feel like I owe that to them, right? This is what I feel when I feel like when I look at their face of a picture, right, and I want to create a thumbnail. I'm like, I need to talk about you, right? And I always save all the photos of our cases, right? I keep them in my little sticker section, right? So I can add them to thumbnails. So when I'm looking to say I'm making another video and I see them all, then I'm like, oh my God, I need to talk about this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, right? And there's just not enough time in the day. And it's tough. But this case, like any of the other cases, they all touch me in different ways. But for some reason, this young man like captured the world's attention. And it reminded me of like a superstar that didn't even know he was a superstar. But there's one thing we can always say about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is he always had a smile on his face. And that's what pushes me to go. To see that smile and think he should still be smiling. He's 15, 16. He should still have a big smile on his face. So let's go get him. Let's go find him. It's something. And it's what motivates me. And Ruby, don't take nothing to tell her. I just snap my fingers in the morning and say, you want to go search? And then she goes straight to that basket, grabs a bandana, and comes running over there. She's ready. That good. She is ready to go anytime I'm ready to go. And then when I'm working like this, she's so beat. She's so sad when I'm gone all day. My mom always tells me, oh my God, she was just like looking at the door all day. And that hurts because I feel like, man, I shouldn't do that, but I have to work, right? But one day I'll be able to retire, hopefully in a couple years. I mean, I always told myself I was going to do 25 years and then take off, or 20, but I don't know. I'm at 22, a little over 22 now, so I don't know, maybe another year and go. And maybe by then we'll have like everything set up, right? All the command centers will be done, everything will be done, and we'll like just be a moving van. And then we can just travel everywhere. If I wasn't working, I could travel everywhere. And I would too. I'd be going, and I could spend more time in different places. But, we are going to go here in a few days, back up there and search the Memphis area behind Easy Days. I want to check that area again where that manhole is. I got a hunch about something I want to go look at, and I didn't go far enough, I don't think, last time. I should have went down further. And I knew I should have went down further. I just ran out of time, and that cold front blew. Remember, I got sick. Plus, every time I go to Tennessee, and thank God, shout out to you, brother Dollar. I know you're my brother because you got allergies too in Tennessee. I told you it's bad. I don't know, it's something in that air when I get there. Like right now, my nose is still messed up. when I go, but now I'm on that new, like, it's not Zyrtec, it's some other one. It's like for allergies and something else. But I've been on that one and it works really well. Like, all I did was get stuffy this time. I didn't really get the eyes itchy and running and my nose running this time. Thank God, right? I hate that. And thank God I don't have that now. Just now I'm just stuffed up. But it'll go away, I hope. It's not going to stop me from searching for Sebastian, but it does. It sucks when you can't breathe real good, right? But it'll go away, I'm sure. I mean, it'll go away. Uh, but there's just so many things. I'm just ready. I'm ready for justice to be done for this young man. And now to hear everybody talking about it, especially FBI people, it does make you feel really confident now that justice is right around the corner. I feel that it is. I feel that justice for Sebastian Wayne Jake Rogers is right around the corner, guys. And I've been praying for that a lot, and I know y'all are too. Everybody fell in love with this young man and his smile, right? It's got us. I know. We all have had probably kids. I'm sure all y'all have had kids. Y'all know what it's like. When they look at you and smile like that, you're like, how could I not go look for this young man, right? It's hard. That's why so many people are doing it. And we're starting to kind of join forces, I must say. I think that people are working together very well now. At least I know, like, Silver's on the scene. We've been communicating. Like, people are starting to work together. So don't be surprised if you start seeing all of us out there together, right? That sometimes that's what it takes, is to build an army of searchers and get out there and search, right? So we can cover a way bigger area, right? You got to remember, with a dog, you can cover twice the area you can with two people. Because it's faster. Y'all see how fast she goes. Like, she keeps me moving the whole time. I'm not going slow. I don't have time. Now, if I find something that I know needs to be, I'll drop something out of my backpack. I don't show it on tape. But I have those little patches, remember? Those little round, bright orange ones? Now I have a little stake I can put them on. And I'll stick them there, and they'll be up about 2 feet so I can see them, the bright orange, right? And so I'll mark spots, and then when I get off, I'll come back and dig those areas. And I don't want to dig that on camera. I could never do that. Some people might can. Now, if I was just treasure hunting or something, like I want to do a couple of times soon in the Florida area, I want to go do some other tech, then I'll probably film it for y'all guys. That, I can show y'all that. I don't care about that. But when I'm digging in an area that, like in those woods like that, with what I'm searching for, no, I'm not showing it. I just can't. It's just part of me. I have to not have the camera on. I have to focus on what I'm doing. And that's, usually if I get off really quick, it's probably because I feel like I need to dig that spot, right? And I don't want to leave it. So it just depends. But anyway, I know I rambled a lot about a bunch of different BS tonight, I'm sure. But, as far as from what's going on in this case, I do feel that justice is coming, and I'm so happy and I'm so excited for it. Like I said, it put a smile on my face the other day just thinking about it. Put a smile on my face today thinking about it, because he does need justice. He needs answers, is what we need. And if they're not going to do something soon, then they need to put out what they got so we can dig it up, because they're being very private with what they have, and I know that's a great thing. But as long as it's fixing to lead to arrest, which I know we're all being told it is, and I feel that it is too. I've been saying that for a month. And now, at least the last couple of days, everybody else has been saying it. So it does make it feel better. I hope so. But it's still, is it going to lead us to him? That's what breaks my heart the most, because I don't think it will. I don't think they'll ever say anything. I think they'll be like Harmony Montgomery's dad. I don't think they'll talk. Because if they don't talk, they got a less chance of winning, right? But when it comes to neglect, you're not winning because you haven't found him. So yeah, that they can get him on, her on. They can get him on CPS and then lie under the court or whatever, That's something they can get him on too. Just get him in there if you don't have enough yet, and then be working on everything else while they're in there. Because once they're in there, you can get search warrant, go do the houses, the cars again. You can double check everything, right? Hey, you said you were going to check some areas up to 5 times. Let's do it. Put some new eyes on it if you haven't already, which I've heard that you have put new eyes on it. So if that's the case, that's wonderful, great too. But I think the FBI is going to be the one to break this. I don't think it's going to be Sumner County. I think it's FBI that's going to break this. They're the ones that put up the reward. I feel like they're the ones that are building the strong case. Now, they might hand it over to them and let them do the arrest, but it's going to be because of FBI. Because they're the ones that can get those tapes to where they should be, right? The way they need to be. So you can see who these people are out there, Tinkerbell floating around, right? I want to know who that Tinkerbell is because it sure did walk out there slow and run back. So we know it carried something heavy out there. Probably about 110, 120 pounds of weight going that way. And that's why you let the shoes off, because that's extra weight, right? There's a lot of things I think about in this case. And they use that tree line and they use that little ditch. I can tell by looking at that common area. And it had to be somebody that knew the area. It's not somebody that don't know the area. They had to know that area to go that way. So don't tell me that's not Tinkerbell, because that's Tinkerbell in my book. And you ain't going to tell me different unless something comes out that tells me different. And I don't think Grandma Bear could have carried that much weight. I really don't. I don't think she can barely pick up a Louis Vuitton. So I just don't know, right? But anyway, it's. I just wanted to come on. I was going to come on for just a little bit, but I got to yapping about everything, and it's almost an hour, and I need to go to bed. But I will say, justice for Sebastian Rogers. We got to keep up the search. We have to keep pounding the ground until we find this young man. I know where we're looking is not give people hope, right? It's not, but you can't lose the hope. You have to keep the faith. You know, it's still other family members that love this child that have been speaking out for this child in the beginning. So we have to keep the faith, right? I know it's hard to do at almost 1 year. Almost 1 year. And I was praying that it was going to be before 1 year that we would know something. But all it's going to take is the right person to search the right area, and bam, if he is out there. Now, if he's put up somewhere in Alaska, we're searching all these areas for nothing. But, you know, it's okay, because it's not for nothing, because we could find answers to another case by doing this. Like some of these areas that I'm going to be searching is areas that Summer Wells could have possibly be, right? Like, I'm searching anywhere now from the Memphis area, 3 hours in a circle. Not towards Hendersonville, because a lot of people are already doing that. I'm saying from the outside box, 3 hours. Because I'm looking at the 17-hour trip. So I'm looking at 9 hours of extra time. So I'm saying 3 hours one way. Do what you got to do. Take an hour, 3 hours back. That would put you at about the right time to be home by the 17-hour mark, giving you an hour and a half to tear down your camper. So now I stretched out, and I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but this is what I'm doing. I'm going 3 hours away from Memphis, which is more the other states, but that's okay. And because you got to remember, sometimes putting someone in another state over a state line can change the way the court system works. Remember that. Don't think they're not stupid. They know things. That's why now my focus is outside of that state. Barely. I'm saying on the border and then all the way out to 3 hours out. But it's only like old abandoned sites that I have that I pulled off the Google Earth and NASA that I want to search. It's areas that looks like you could easily access, but that are not really accessed ever, right? They're just like they've been abandoned and nobody goes there anymore. Those are some areas that I want to search. And some little water streams and creek areas that I want to search as well too. Anywhere that the ground is soft and easy digging, I want to check those areas. Because, you know, sometimes people that are overweight, they don't really want to work as hard, right? So you got to think that it could be in a softer zone, like a sandy zone, right? Something that's sand, something that's easy diggable. It could be something like that. And I don't know. I mean, we don't know exactly what happened to this young man. I mean, we know that he's gone. And we know that most likely the Tinkerbell video, I think everybody's pretty much 99.999 that's what happened. Whatever happened then. It's not a coincidence that this has happened. It's something that was either planned or spur of the moment, but whatever. It's something that happened at 3 a.m, roughly. And that to me is the answer, because he's not seen on any other cameras walking around, and he wouldn't have made it that far. Sorry. And there's no other cars been picked up on cameras in town and all that would say, oh, they had a boy in the car, or else we'd already know about it. we would have a license plate in the car they would be looking for, right? That's why I feel like in this instance, you think about the Amber Alert. They usually put a license plate in the car on there, right? Everyone I've ever done here always has usually a car with a license plate and a color and a model of the car. Remember that. So that's why I feel that they know something. And I think they've known something early, but they waited for the photos to get fixed to where they could make sure it was right, that they were right. I think they know license plate number and truck or whatever that vehicle was. I think they put that together enough. And then once they got all that together, that's why we never got the vehicle information, is because they have it and they're not going to put it out for a reason. Probably because it's all the answers that we're looking for, right? It's whatever happened to Sebastian, that's the vehicle that did it. So they're not going to tell us that because that takes away from building their case. Now, if it was somebody that they didn't know and Sebastian didn't know and nobody in the family knew, we'd have known what kind of car that was. We'd have known the license plate right on the Amber Alert, guys. Think about it. We'd have known it. They'd have put it out quick. And been like, okay, we're looking for, a black, dark blue, Chevrolet Duramax diesel, whatever. It just say it would have been a yellow car. We're looking for a yellow Pinto with license plates, Nebraska, and then whatever the license for. Please, this child's in immediate danger. It's an Amber Alert. Find this car. If you see this car, please call 911. That would have came out. Remember that. That's one of the things. I haven't wanted to talk about it yet, but one of the things I kind of kept inside. I didn't really want to discuss just yet because I was waiting. I was hoping something was going to happen first, and then I could really talk about it. Why I thought that they were going to get him, right? This is why I think they got him, is because I feel like they would have put that out, and we would have known. I mean, every freaking Amber Alert you get, if there is a vehicle involved, the vehicle information is there in the Amber Alert. Just like the last one we just did with the little boy from Aransas Pass, Texas, the 8-year-old. And they found him, remember? Thank God, by cameras, checkpoint cameras. That's how by the cameras on the license plate readers and stuff, that's how they caught him. Tracked him by camera. Then they knew the car, they knew the license plate, so they put that out there. And somebody evidently seen that car at that store, or whatever, and boom. See, that's why they put those out. But when they had that camera footage the first day, guys, they had Secret Service looking at it right away. That's why they didn't view that with Katie and Chris and them at first. Hell no, they didn't. They kept that within law enforcement. They trusted no one at first. That's how they have to do it. They're looking, not in the command center. This was probably done at the headquarters itself. When they got all those tapes, they had them and they sent them straight to Secret Service and they were viewing them. And they probably said, okay, here's the vehicle, here's the partial tag, or here's the whole tag. Or maybe they couldn't read the license plates, but they had the vehicle and everything else. And they just had to search it. And it took a few months, but they finally got the hit they needed, right? Or maybe they had everything up front and they were like, okay, we're going to build our case off this, but we need to double check. And then And maybe somebody used a rent car. Or maybe they didn't use one of their cars, they used somebody else's car. And then they had to track things back. And then, okay, now we got to go to the grand jury secretly. Then we got to let them do it. Well, then you had all the holidays coming up. So then they didn't get finished. Now they've gotten finished. And I think now it's kind of up to the prosecution to say, all right, sign the arrest warrant, go get them. Right? That's what we're waiting on, I think, right now. In my opinion, that's what we're waiting on. For whoever it may be. I don't know who it is. I'm just saying. I believe it's multiple people because according to sources, that's what's being said is that it's well, we know by the Tinkerbell video, if that is the answer, we know it's multiple people. I believe it's 3 people. That's what I've always thought. I've always thought there's 3 people in that clip. I've always felt, remember I said that, I've always felt like there's another person that clicked a quick light, like on the backside of that vehicle, shadow light. I felt like there was a flashlight that came on right there in that area for that split second, but it could be or it could not be. It could have been something blowing in the wind that went in front of the headlight and it flickered like that. I don't know, but I'm just saying it looked to me like 3 people were involved. And as we know now, if Chris did take 2 people with him back, which I've just heard, I don't know, I'm not knowing that to be true yet. I'm just saying somebody has been saying that he took 2 people with him to go get his camper. Well, that would make more sense. And probably those 2 people were probably the stinky foots. And so, probably Mama, Grandma Bear, and Grandpa Step Bear, right? That's he seems to be so connected to them, right, that he doesn't do anything without them. So, you know how that goes. But anyway, guys, I've been yapping with y'all for over an hour. I burned half a cord of wood over here. No, I'm playing. I burned half a cord, but I burned a lot. I burned about 15, 20 sticks. But anyway, let's keep our prayers up, guys. I don't want to tell everything yet, and I got to save some stuff. But tonight will give y'all enough if y'all watch the whole video. Hopefully, y'all watch the whole video. If you did, you'll hear everything. If you don't, you won't. All the good stuff, I think, came at the end this time. Anyway, we love y'all guys so much. With all our hearts, we do. We appreciate all y'all. All y'all's kind, wonderful comments. I'm not talking about the BS comments. I'm talking about the kind-hearted, wonderful comments that we love so much and we appreciate so much. Thank y'all so much from the bottom of our hearts. It does make us stay motivated and want to keep fighting. And I know I need to take a little time to do other videos as well, right? And I felt like I wanted to come on tonight with Sebastian because I feel like something's fixing to break, and I just kind of wanted to go over some of these things to give y'all ideas to think about. That's why I kind of let that one sink in. Just think about it that way, right, for a second. Usually that's what happens. The lie detector test part. They wanted her to take one right away, right? And if she didn't pass, then everything dominoed from there, right? That's why they didn't ever clear her. And then he didn't want to take one. So I'm sure to them, they're like, okay, he's not willing to take one. She took one. She didn't do so hot. Okay, let's put 2 and 2 together. But we got to at least try to search this kid in case they may have put him out of this house. So I think that's why they kept the search going. But I think as of day 2, they were ready to switch it to investigation. But they just waited. I think they pretty much waited for them to talk. I think they wanted them to talk, and they wouldn't talk. And I think that there was a reason. There's a reason they didn't want to talk. It's because they didn't want to mess up. That's the only way to look at it. They never begged for him. They never showed any empathy or anything for this young man. Never once did they literally beg for the child. Please let kidnapper let my son go. Like, none of that shit. I mean, Seth has, but they didn't. And I don't know how that makes him feel. It would break my heart if the mom didn't want to participate. Right? I think the whole reason that they didn't really... Chris tried to control everything, and I think he tries to control Seth in the beginning of this, and it didn't work. I think Seth's like, hell no, this is my son, dude. I'm not doing all that BS shit. I want to find my son, right? And I think they were trying to keep him quiet at first, and that's why he was. And I think once it built up, he built up the anger. He was like, hell no, I'm not being quiet no more. The hell with y'all. And I think that's why he started talking. And that's wonderful that he did, because Seth spreads a lot of awareness all the time. He's the only one that seems to have teams out there doing anything, big teams out there doing anything right now. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm falling asleep. Anyway, I'm going to go. This is 1 hour and 8 minutes. Longest video I've ever done. And it's on Sebastian Rogers. What a good one, right? Tomorrow night we'll do some more. Hey, I'm going to do some Jack the Ripper. I'm getting some information on Jack the Ripper, the new identified guy. I don't know if that's 100% correct, but we're going to talk about it. And I hope y'all like Jack the Ripper. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about the John Wayne Gacy and BTK, and I'm gonna start getting into some of these older ones while we're still doing the newer ones. But hopefully y'all like that. I don't know. I mean, I hope y'all will. Let me know in the comments if y'all want to talk about Jack the Ripper and all these older ones. I have a lot of interest in a lot of these, and especially now with this new genealogy tree, which I think it's an amazing tool, right? If it did work and catch Jack the Ripper, really, and this is 100% legit, dude, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be 2, possibly 3, actually. Especially if it's the Zodiac can be identified this way. That'd be 3. And another one I want to do? B.T. Cooper. I got some information the other day, and I just checked the email. I'm like, dang, I want to do one. I don't know if y'all watch much about BT Cooper, the one that jumped out of the plane, but with the money, and then some of the money was found by a young kid playing in the sand. I kind of want to do that. I think it'd be cool to do that too. Tell me, if y'all want to hear about that. And Mr. Plane Jumper, I believe he was military, but Air Force actually. We'll see. Anyway, guys, keep the prayers up for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Keep the prayers up for all the voiceless, all the missing. Sebastian Rogers is voiceless right now, and he needs as many people as possible, just like Summer Wells, just like all of them. We have to start talking more about Summer, too. So I think I'm going to start doing a lot of Sebastian and Summer videos together. And then I think I'm going to do more of like Harley Morris with some of the other guy videos, like Brian Schaefer. Some of these other ones I want to get into. I'm very interested in the Brian Schaefer thing. I think that can be solved. I really do. And I feel like the Jennifer Kirst can be solved as well. And that's the one in Florida. I've done one on it so far, but I haven't done a follow-up yet, but I want to. And I know the Zodiac one was kind of horrible because the damn fire didn't start. I didn't even realize it at first. I'm so sorry about that, guys. And I didn't even have all my notes with me. I was trying to do that out of my head. But I will do a new one on the Zodiac because I do have a lot written down about it. And I'll have a fire this time. But we've talked so long that fire is burned out. So y'all have a good night, guys. We love y'all, guys. We appreciate y'all. Like I said, justice for Sebastian, justice for Summer, justice for all of them. Nikki, Suzanne, all of them out there, right? Little Caleb Collins, baby cat. I'm so mad at this case. There's nothing yet. It just frustrates me. Just a 1-year-old. Get off your ass and find this child, please, or allow everybody to help. Something, right? Anyway, Sebastian Rogers, we love you, and we're doing this for you. We're going to keep up the fight. We're not giving up. We're going to start spending a little more of our days off time over in Tennessee. But my one thing is, I kind of refuse to stay the night in Tennessee. So I just don't want to stay the night there. I don't mind when I'm on the border. It's easy because I can stay on the other side. I don't know. Tennessee water, Tennessee messes with my allergies really bad. I just can't handle it no more. So I'm going to have to stay outside of Tennessee unless I'm actually in Hendersonville. And then maybe I'll knock on the door and see if Katie and Chris will let me stay the night there so I don't have to get a hotel. Anyway, I'm playing, guys. I'm 100% playing. Y'all guys have a good night. We love y'all guys. Remember, allegedly, these are my opinions. Don't take them as fact. Take it as a grain of salt. Trigger warnings. And y'all have a good night, guys. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all so much. I hope y'all like the hour. I don't know. Y'all might not like these long ones. Let me know. If you like the long ones, I would much rather sit here, even if I am tired, and talk for an hour than try to do 20 minutes. I know it'll take longer to load, but that's okay. It'll be worth it in the end. All right, guys. Y'all be good. Be safe. We love y'all, guys. Me and Ruby are out. All right. Bye.